Hi Aries, it's Kendrick from Providence Tarot. I am here to give you your second proofread for the month of September. And the card that came out for everyone as a theme for this week, I guess I would say, is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is talking about, emotional satisfaction within oneself. Also questioning how you feel. This is receptivity and being aware of receptivity, Also, I feel like this has to do with emotional boundaries, that type of thing. And the connection that we have to our emotions and how they sort of help us. They are a resource of information for us, okay? So don't be intimidated and don't be afraid to ask yourself those intense questions that are involved, that involve your emotions, or those questions that might stir up certain emotions, This is the emotional instinct, right? So, I feel like you are exercising your emotional instinct, which would probably be your intuition. So you're using it as a resource and as a tool to help navigate you. It also talks about emotional maturity, okay? And emotional intelligence, right? And emotional intelligence sometimes has to deal with the way you handle your emotions and understanding that they are yours and they don't belong to anyone else, and not to blame anyone for how you might be feeling, if that makes sense. So let's look at the card that has been designated for you that I haven't flipped over yet. I just shuffle the decks. I leave them face down, so I don't really know what it's going to be until I flip it over, so it's still fresh. The Ace of Cups just fell out on its own. And usually if a card falls out, it's the theme. And I don't usually put it back in for that reason. All right, this is amazing. You got the Strength card. So this is really good for you just because you are Aries. The sun is exalted in your sign. It also is connected to the sign of Leo through the strength, or through, through strength. And then it also is connected to the 8th house of Scorpio. So, we are using logic and reason. We are considering things that we probably didn't consider before with the Strength card. It's definitely a high level of consideration for, animals, nature. It is also talking about courage and not reacting or responding in the ways that are sort of primitive, or what am I trying to say? An ill-measured response. So the Strength card is asking you to be measured, and practice discernment in terms of your emotions, and not to be emotionally reactive, and don't act out of fear. Don't act out of fear, and don't try to control. Don't try to control others emotionally, and don't use manipulation either, right? That's what the Strength card is also talking about. All right? And not to be consumed by fear. Don't let it get the best of you. And you can overcome your fear too. Just ride that wave of emotion. Let's see what your clarifier is, because I pulled a clarifier for everybody. Okay, the Two of Cups. This is balancing out your emotions. It is also, being aware of, that other people have feelings too. And also this has to do with not being afraid of what might be communicated to you that prompts you to have like an internal battle. And this is also something that your intuition might have been prompting you to know or to understand or to make peace with, but you probably saw it as something that was more fearful than freeing. And I need you to see it as being something that's actually freeing for you. The Strength card definitely talks about healing. It could be talking about your back. It definitely could be talking about, something about vertebrae or your back. Yeah. The Two of Cups is here, and this is, like I said, healing. And we do know that the twos are connected to the High Priestess, which is divine guidance, divine love. This is Venus in Cancer. So this is the home. So there needs to be more balance in the home, maybe. Because it is Cancer and it is talking about the emotions. It is a 2. And it's talking about extreme. So trying to balance the extreme emotions that you might be feeling. Because you're trying to consider a lot of different things here, with this Two of Cups. Just because it is connected to like, being consciously aware of how other people might feel. And it's also not trying to control how other people might think or how they might feel. And this is also vice versa, not letting anybody control how you might think or feel. But it's also just being very much aware. And it is still connected to emotional intelligence. It is still connected to the beauty of emotional understanding and compassion. Okay, so that's what your message is. And seeing the beauty in what is being shown to you, and understanding that sometimes you do have to let go to be free. And that could mean a lot of things for different people out there. It could be letting go of a person. It could be letting go of a feeling. It could be, not holding on to something just because of its beauty. Because the twos do have a lot to do with possession, and so do all of the aces, because Pluto is connected to the first ray. And Pluto has some connection to all of these cards. The Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Strength card. So be aware of, or try to understand how to not necessarily have control all the time. Sometimes you do need to just have faith that things are going to be okay, and don't try to force whatever the outcome is that you want to see. This is also connected to Jupiter, right? And life is an emotional journey, and You know, you have to be ready for the ups and downs, and, you know, everything is nuanced. Nothing is going to be black and white, you know? So if you rely on something, that thing could change from one day to another just because everything is nuanced. We don't know what to expect, which is why Jupiter is connected to the twos, right? Because when you're not just dealing with yourself, you know, there's other things going on, you know? And also with the strength card too, because it's like, oh, well, I'm used to being this way, or, you know, like the person, the human in this card, does not want to be too forceful with these animals because they could definitely turn around, you know, and reflect the energy. But we're not coming from a low vibrational place. We don't want to do that. So be aware of when you might be, you know, reverting back to a lower vibration as a means to, as a result of trying to control a situation. Now, we're not talking about something, you know, don't make something life or death when it's actually not life or death, you know, because we do talk about drama here, like making, you know, making it be more dramatic than it actually is, right? And I'm not saying something that actually is, but it is dramatic. I'm saying, like, because of that fear-based mentality, we don't want everything to seem life or death. And sometimes from the fear-based mentality, it can seem life or death. Okay? Anyway, I don't want to make this too long, Aries, and I will talk to you later.